hear the advice, stop worrying about what other people think. However, it doesn't sit right with me because, as an involved member of a society, I believe it's important, even a responsibility, to consider the feelings and perspectives of others. I understand this phrase as advice is a caution against feeling paralyzed by the opinions of others. But I am afraid of how this advice may be taken too literally. What are your thoughts on this, Oshō?
Well, like you mentioned, we are a part of society, of nature, of the universe. We cannot survive in isolation, whether we are aware of it or not. Our existence is built upon our relationships with many others. If we forget this and behave arrogantly, causing inconvenience to others, and then disregard their criticism by saying, "Don't worry about what other people think," we would be making a grave mistake. This attitude is exceedingly selfish, and continuing such self-centered behavior will ultimately lead to being disliked by those around us, or even being ostracized from society. So, Buddha advises that if you wish to live happily, then you should refrain from actions that invite reproach. However, there are times when, even though we haven't hurt or inconvenienced anyone, we may still face criticism for our endeavors. This is especially true when undertaking something novel or unfamiliar to those around us, which naturally might not be immediately understood. It is precisely in such moments that one should recall this Zen saying, happū fuke domo dōzezu. Even if the 8 winds blow, remain unmoved. Here, the 8 winds metaphorically represents the voices of the surrounding environment, while remain unmoved means to remain unshaken and undisturbed. The 8 winds, ri, sui, ki, yo, shō, ki, ku, raku, represents 8 different experiences. Ri refers to things that bring us gains, and sui signifies those that diminish our gains. Ki represents slander spoken behind our backs, and yo refers to any praise given in our absence. Shō is when we are openly praised and celebrated by many. And ki refers to public criticism or reproach from others. Ku represents our encounters with adversity, causing distress in our body and mind. Raku represents fortuitous events that bring joy to our body and mind. When criticized or ridiculed for our efforts, we tend to feel anger or despair, whereas when praised, we often feel delighted and become overly confident. This is human nature. It is unavoidable that our hearts will waver in the face of these 8 winds. What is crucial, however, is not to be swayed by this fluctuation. It is permissible for one's heart to waver, but it's vital not to be dragged along by this wavering for an extended period. Keep in mind, it is impossible to entirely avoid the 8 winds. In fact, encountering them can clarify what we wish to achieve and offer an opportunity for self-reflection on our shortcomings. Hence, do not let yourself be disheartened by the voices or winds around you. Instead, embrace and enjoy every wind that blows your way. Do you remember the phrase I just taught you?
happū fuke domo dōzezu.
Yes, This is a teaching encapsulated in Zen saying, happū, fuke, domo, dōzezu. If you receive no criticism or praise from anyone, it may be because you haven't taken any challenges at all. So, whenever you undertake any form of challenge, both criticism and praise are sure to arise. If you know this, do not allow yourself to be disturbed by the 8 winds. After all, winds come and go. They cease and then blow again.